Thank you so much for tuning in. This is attorney Matt Wayman here today with just a quick video on how to beat drug possession charges. The first tool that criminal defense attorneys use to beat drug possession charges are identity issues. The prosecuting attorney must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you possess the drugs at issue. If this was a result of a traffic stop where there were multiple individuals in the vehicle, or maybe this was at a party where there were multiple other guests who the drugs could have belonged to, your criminal defense attorney can use that to argue to a jury that you were not the person that had those drugs. Any reasonable doubt as to who the drugs belong to can lead to the jury returning a verdict of not guilty. The next tactic that prosecutors can use to challenge the state's case would be possession. In Missouri, possession is defined as actual or constructive possession of an object with the knowledge of its presence. At trial, if there is reasonable doubt as to actual or constructive possession of those drugs, a jury can return a verdict of not guilty. This can occur when drugs are found in a friend's vehicle, or when drugs are found in a room that is shared by two roommates. If the prosecutor cannot prove that you had access to that room or to that car, then it will be much harder for them to make their case that you had possession of those drugs. The next tactic that criminal defense attorneys use to challenge the state's case would be knowledge. The prosecutor must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you had knowledge of those drugs for you to be found guilty at a trial. An example of a knowledge defense would be that a friend leaves drugs in your center console. You're later pulled over in your vehicle and you give police consent to search that car. They then find those drugs in that center console. You can challenge that, and your defense would be that you had no knowledge that those drugs were in your center console because you did not know that your friend had left the drugs there. Your lack of knowledge of those drugs would be a defense to you being found guilty of drug possession. The last tactic that criminal defense attorneys use is challenging the search and seizure. Even if the prosecutor can prove that you knowingly possessed the drugs, if the drugs were recovered as a result of an improper search, they can be deemed inadmissible at a trial. If the drugs are inadmissible at any trial, then you cannot be found guilty of drug possession. If the traffic stop was done without justification, if you were detained at the scene too long, or if the police officers lacked probable cause to search your vehicle, all evidence recovered as a result of that search can be deemed inadmissible in court. Your attorney will file a motion to suppress. If that motion is granted, none of that evidence will come in at a trial. The state will not be able to make their case, and they will be forced to dismiss the charges against you. I hope this video has been helpful to give you just a brief overview on how to beat drug possession charges. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below or reach out directly. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. We're going to be back soon with more videos.